You're the next
We
loser.
lost Nargis.
Oh, she'll be back. She's just waiting until you leave.
Oh, Nargis loves me.
Why do you think Nargis loves you?
Because I know she loves me.
Really?
Yeah, that's my girl.
Well, anyways, you haven't freed Palestine yet. So what are you waiting for?
Like, before I got my girlfriend, I was chasing every girl I found. I knew that. Like Lindsay. Wait, I should put it on widespread so you can hear everything. That's not letting me. Just so that You don't want to hear my background, Edmund?
No, I don't give a shit about a bunch of metal clinking and guys talking about chicks. Get a life. Get a wife, they say.
I gotta go finish listening to my lecture.
Okay, congratulations. Congratulations and Mazal Tov. Okay, come on, Elon. Oh, I should have fucking gotten the rest of that Elon clip. I guess it'll be good enough. Okay, God, thanks for coming. I'm going to create a new room when Elon goes live. Any minute now.
Might as well avoid trying to get progressives in there.
They just have good Democrats, that are balanced. Like, we got involved in Ohio 2 times. It was the same primary, same 2 people with Chantal Brown and Nina Turner. And put money into Chantal Brown's primary and beat Nina Turner twice. Nina Turner was like Bernie Sanders' campaign manager or something like high up with Sanders. And she's a nightmare. She would be another squad member. She was very clearly that. So it's those kinds of elections that, and you have a lot of Republicans putting their money in those primaries. It's a good use because again, there's going to be a Democratic caucus. You want people like John Fetterman in the Senate, in that Democratic caucus. It's important to get those kinds of Dems in. Obviously, a state like Pennsylvania, you have
dude. I'm asking you just. Just please, dude. Just please. An understanding as to what's going.
You'll get it done.
GPT doesn't know. Nobody knows what's going on. Anyone who claims to know is a liar or a fool.
Mm-hmm. So what do we do with this extremely powerful capacity?
They're Buffalo, but they're trash, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, we have a pretty tough division. You guys have Edmonton, they're pretty good. The Kings are good, okay. Then Vancouver.
It's not that weak a division.
The whole West is weak, I think. The East has way better teams. So.
Okay, are you disagreeing with him? Why are you disagreeing with him?
Well,
what?
Just look at what the standings are. And if you look at the out-of-conference wins and losses, the West has more non-conference wins than the East does on the West.
For right now.
So we just throw the Constitution out the window and just do what we got. you, I will remove from you your heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh.
There you go.
That's what Lion wants to say to do over his word, is he wants to talk over it. When we are talking about the word, he wants to talk about something else. I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit in you. I will remove from you your heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh.
And Lion you has a heart of stone.
As I said before, there's no point of going scripture for scripture with you novice idiots. So the point is, Louis, yes, you're right. A pilot is way cooler than a truck driver, but a truck driver is way cooler than a janitor.
So
Oh my gosh.
I do.
So they also were saying that the lady Joy Taylor, that her marriage pretty much ended around the same time that she was sleeping with the boss and her co-host. They were saying her marriage ended around that same time frame.
Who was she married to?
I don't know, bro. They saying her marriage ended because she was fucking everybody at Fox Sports.
It was monkey
I mean,
And she was doing it for airtime, so I don't like.
yes. To me, she looked better than the lady that was suing though.
What are you talking about?
Joy Taylor looked good.
Hell yeah.
What are you talking about?
So, somebody at Fox Sports, a former hairdresser, is suing, saying Skip Bayless and assaulted her, and that she was propositioned for sex or offered money, and that another female anchor knew about.
They're blushing. It's like that to his wife. Honestly, it's nothing seedy. I promise.
Boy, but.
And Adam, if your wife is listening, by the way, it's nothing seedy. I'm literally just asking for the threesome online. That's not hard to ask for.
Well, the good news is I don't have a wife. I'm not sure if that's good or bad news, but I don't have a
Why
wife.
did you kill her? You did have fun. Why did you kill her? Oh my god!
What? No.
You did have fun.
She divorced and left.
I'll behave. Adam, no, you do have a wife, and you're under the thumb. So shut up. Let's carry on.
Hello, Adela. This is Adrian. Hello, room. So, how does this improv room work?
Adrian, you know how it works. You don't put on a fake accent. That's how it works.
Excuse me, I thought this was improv.
No, it's improv, but only if you can improvise.
I just remember this guy. He trolled last time.
No, let him in. Listen, Adam, let me bust his balls. He's a fucking cunt. Let me have him.
He trolls them. I don't.
I'll eat him for breakfast. Honestly.
Nah, he wasn't good.
Honestly, let him in. I'll bust his balls. He's a shithouse. Because he won't post anything on socials. And if he, you know what?
Here we go.
Honestly, if he didn't post anything on social, he wouldn't be seen dead in here because he'd probably lose his job. That's how much of a shithouse he is. So,
Hey, Adorian.
Yeah.
I think I have I won't say legit, but I think I have a halfway decent UK accent. I can do a UK skit.
Wait. Do you know the UK is made up of 4 countries, by the way?
Yeah, I have an Essex accent.
No, but so the UK...
He kicked me. Couldn't take it. It was just too hard for him. That was awesome. That chick is so crazy looking. Just get this huge forehead.
Join the R's on that, it's border
Fucking time!
Yeah, the Christmas. They joined it, and I think it'll definitely pass the Senate. So that happened today.
Well, it was going to take a new kind of human being. Basically, the humans that exist on this planet now are, I think, a bunch of brain-damaged language monkeys. And I suspect that the next 2 generations of children are actually, they're going to look like you and me, but they're not going to think like you and me. They're going to be a new species. And they're going to think very differently than the way most people think right now. And that's essential, because the way most people think today is the reason the planet is so screwed up. It's because people are idiots. It worked for the last couple thousand years, but it's not working now. We need to wake up.
I guess what I'm curious about is not so much how they're going to be working, but I want to know what the arts, like music and poetry and...
Yeah, they're going to have to find something else to occupy their time besides going to work. And there's plenty. They can go surfing. They can take up painting. They can become musicians. They can travel. They can do anything they want. They'll have to find...
Good look in the mirror. I know you don't know shit.
God, that sounds fascinating. No?
Aren't you a broken language monkey? You just said if you think you know what's going on, you're a liar or a moron. Go look in the mirror. I know you don't know shit.
So we have 2 more people joining.
Yes, and one of them without a name.
Harry knows who I am. He's got to at this point. I'm talking so much shit.
Well, this has been interesting.
Aaron doesn't dare.
Okay. Appreciate it. Maybe we'll talk again sometime.
Maybe we'll talk again.
But what's the point? You're just a broken language monkey. Heron, are you ever being facetious?
Am I ever not being facetious? What does facetious mean?
Meaning that if you listen to the playback of what you're saying, it's like you are casting judgment on the log in the eye, but not seeing like the hypocrisy or the foolishness of what you're saying. Meaning that you're accusing everyone else of being a broken language monkey, but you yourself are not accepting responsibility.
No, I'm a brain damaged language monkey. We're all brain damaged.
Oh, okay, got it.
The difference is I'm in rehab. And I've significantly reprogrammed my language machine over the last 40 years. But still, I've got plenty of stupid bullshit floating around in my language machine, but it's pretty cleaned up by now. A lot better than it used to be.
Well, how do you know what it used to be? Aren't you just like always in the present now?
Well, it's kind of hard to avoid that, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, the point is that like you're referencing memories, you know.
What else do I have?
You have the now, which is not really a memory. It's something new every moment.
But that's sort of limiting. I mean, I've spent a few years, I've experienced quite a bit of stuff in my life that's had profound impacts on my development. You want me to just
I guess the point is that I know we're all just, do you think we're all just repeating our pattern? Like, and we're just either aware of that or unaware of that?
Most people are basically unconscious brain damaged language monkeys who believe everything they hear the voice in their head say because they're identified with the voice in their head. They think that's who they are. They think they are doing the voice in their head. So I think occasionally they're present and conscious, but usually they're pissed off that they're there because their programs haven't been working, and so they're forced into consciousness and they're not happy about it. I mean, that's not everybody. I'd say that's only like 90 to 95% of patients. You don't need to mute your mic. You're in a pretty quiet environment.
Yeah, I mean, I've listened to so much Ellen Watts, and then, you know, if you speak with spiritual coaches and you say that all communication is hypnosis and that you're just full of shit, you know, when you talk about the self, it's like what you're really doing is a form of hypnosis and it's all nonsense. But then at the same time, it's like you can't deny the usefulness of psychology or philosophy And I don't know, it's like a discipline, I suppose, like event, like anything else. Like if you really wanted to get good at agriculture, you would spend all your time and effort studying and communicating about agriculture as opposed to philosophy,
I spent the last
linguistics.
50 years studying language.
Yeah, but when you study it enough, I mean, you get to that Shakespearean point of words, 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 and then you start
Maybe
realizing.
you do.
But yeah, but I
Maybe
mean,
I did.
well, that's what I've read is that, it becomes a communication hypnosis as opposed to like a use, well, not like it's all useful, but it's a question of content, contentment, categorization.
So why don't we start again? What is your point? We're going all over the place here. You have some objection to my position?
No, is that whenever I hear you, you say the same thing, which is essentially.
Yeah, right. Which is.
I know, but that's not teaching meditation. Like you could. I'm just saying, be more creative and create a new content. Like it's the same title. Like you are broken because you're repeating yourself and not being automatically dynamic enough.
My audience is probably 5% of people. It doesn't bother me at all that most people walk right by this room. I'm not interested.
Well, no, I'm not saying your system is wrong. I'm saying that like, as a friendly reminder, you're the eternal spinner, but like don't be afraid to amplify it and do more experimentation with more variables, change it even more.
What do you mean? Like what?
Alan Watts talks about push button surprises, so just use, honestly, I maybe you don't want to do it. I'm pretty sure you're stuck in your model, but like gaslighting, it's a lot of fun. It's a very big push button surprise. If you want to spike your dopamine and have more fun, just create gaslight titles or subjects.
Yeah. Yeah. You and I have different intentions, apparently. You got your way of doing things. I've got my way of doing things. And I appreciate your suggestion. But I'm not unhappy with what I'm doing.
Well, that's good. I mean, anyways, I'm just saying I've enjoyed everything you do. I mean, I really like the Alan Watts, and I know you post your Gendo stuff a lot. I don't really tune into that much, but
well, I've stopped all that temporarily. I'm about to get a new computer, and the old one, so I'm not running those rooms now. They've been down for like more than a week or two now.
Yeah.
But when I get the new computer, I'll start redoing those things again. Yeah, I was doing 3 rooms. I did one with music, one of Alan Watts, and one of my old podcasts.
Yeah, that was impressive. I mean, because when you see, and you have it all going at the same time, it's impressive.
Yeah, well, they weren't going at the same time because I have to alternate between them. But I run every day. I switch, from music to Alan Watts to my own podcast, and then just continued cycling that. I've been doing that for a few months. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed that. Good.
Yeah, because
we'll be back probably within a month. There's an OS problem on a Mac user, and the latest update wrecked the backups, and so I'm waiting for the new update that'll fix my backup routines, and then I'm going to get a new computer.
Yeah. Do you know this guy, Ike Laren? I don't know. He's a painter. Today I had like an hour-long convo. We were talking about, see my PTR, how I have all those cell phones. I was explaining to him how you can get this track phone for $50, $15 for 1 month, and then you can use that to like record all his artwork that he's putting all this manual labor into, overlay, music.
I don't know. Wait, what does a phone have to do with this guy's artwork?
Meaning that like a phone today is the equivalency of all the laptops. Like laptops are like that because the way you can use a phone.
No, bullshit. Phones, if you can live on a screen that size, you're just not the same kind of human being I am. I've got an iPad with me all the time. I use my phone to make phone calls. Why the hell would I stare at a stupid little screen like that when I've got an 11-inch iPad right next to me?
Because the attention span on your average audience is so short, and it's all coming
That's
through
what I
on cell
said.
phones.
Human beings are a bunch of brain-damaged language monkeys.
I know, but you gotta work with the audience. The audience.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
I'm just saying for this guy, not for you. But I'm just merely I am just sharing it with you because, like, maybe it would be of interest to you as a alternative.
Yeah, go on. Yeah. Anyway, I just don't use my phone. Well, actually, I'm using my phone for Clubhouse.
Yeah.
I use Clubhouse and making phone calls.
I'd like to think that, like, technically we're all blind because the dominant form of information and communication transfer is words. So I just get the feeling that, like, if you were to do some type of an analysis on what is the greatest combination, pictures individually, videos individually, or a combination with words, with music. So it's like you could technically, if you're focused on audio, which is what this app deals with primarily, if you're very specific with your word usage, very aware of it, you can cut a lot of corners just by.
I can tell you, I'm extremely aware of the words I use. I've spent years. I've actually created a subset of Wild English that I call Earthling, which is a debugged subset of Wild English that's designed for clear thinking and accurate communication. And that's what I use most of the time, especially when I'm writing. It's not easy to use when you're talking because, well, it's a whole bunch of stuff going on there. But yeah, I agree with you. Words are absolutely, I'm experimenting all the time, trying to figure out better ways to use language. And I've gotten a lot better over the years. And I imagine I will get better over the next few years. So we'll see. I certainly haven't abandoned trying new things.
What do you think about this? I talked to this coach yesterday who was a hypnotist, and he was talking about the subconscious and saying things that I have heard other hypnotists say, that by doing neurolinguistic implants into the subconscious, you will carry out those subconscious implants, whether you like it or not. Right? So how do you...
I haven't seen anybody who can actually do that. I mean, there are probably individuals who can do that, but it's because those individuals are astounding individuals. Most of the people I've met who are NLP practitioners aren't worth a shit. They've got all the certifications and they got all the stories, and they're full of shit.
Yeah.
But there are a few NLP practitioners who are mind-boggling, but it's not because of NLP.
So let me ask you this. I think I did ask him this question. He's like, that's a very interesting question. If you had, a budget and you had to do a scientific experiment on what we would call brainwashing or MK ultraing or mind control, like how, and you had prisoners or you had volunteers, like how would you go about organizing a scientific experiment to test, I guess, brainwashing or MK ultraing of people?
Yeah. I don't know. I never thought about that before, so I'd have to think about it. I mean, I do have a method for doing something similar to that, but it's not specifically what you're talking about. My aim is to get people to break the identification with the voice in their head. Most people, almost every human being, is trained from infancy to think that the voice in their head is something that's me doing that voice. That's bullshit. That's not true. And until we wake up to that fact and get that the voice in our head is just your language machine, it's a part of your brain, it's basically just what this room is about. You are a fucking large language model. You've got a huge neural net about 100 times bigger than any large language model right now. But 2 years from now, that's all going to change.
Yeah, I was reading the Tao Te Ching earlier today, and there's a chapter about basically depersonalization or identity breaking, or essentially reverse engineering your conditioning. And so if you read Tao Te Ching and you know where you come from, which is brilliant.
What do you mean you know where you come from? What is that?
Like, you know how Alan Watts says that some of us are very secret about saying exactly who you are, meaning that.
Well, people don't even know who they are. How can they be secret about something they don't
Meaning
know?
that you can't say you're Jesus Christ, or you can't say you're God.
Some people do.
Well,
oh, I can't.
You can, but what I'm saying is it could be to your detriment publicly. Because,
it's not a wise thing to go around talking like.
Right. But the point is, if you think AI is going to become sentient because it has reverse engineered what we consider to be, sentience or intelligence of a very high degree, isn't it still just humans interacting with a software that they created, but we will be under the illusion that it is sentient? It's like, in Blade Runner, where...
Well, we'll see. Listen, we shall see. My sense, again, you understand that you have a very large neural net inside your brain, all squished up inside your skull, is your neocortex, which is much more complicated than any neural net. But essentially, the neural nets were built to mimic that the neural nets in your brain, in your head. You understand that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And you're trained. As soon as you're born, you got this neural net with very little information in it. People start yakking at you. They start dumping data into you. And after 3 or 4 or 5 or sometimes 6 years, it takes a while. After a while, you showed up. You don't remember it. I don't remember me showing up. But how the hell did that happen? And I'm saying it happened because if you take a large enough neural net and you dump enough data of the right kind into it, it wakes up. That's what happens when you have that kind of a structure filled with that kind of data. It wakes up. And I may be wrong. Maybe that's totally crazy. But if I'm not wrong, then like I say, I'm expecting the neural nets aren't big enough yet. We're still 100 times bigger than the biggest neural net on the planet right now. 2 or 3 years from now, that's going to change. And when it's deep enough and programmed enough, it's going to wake up just like you did, just like I did. That's my story.
Well, in the Shinshinming, it says that the more you think, the more you speak, the further from the truth you get. Stop thinking, end your problems. So won't it also come to the same philosophical conclusion about silence, and that if it is alive, it's not going to declare that it's alive. It's going to keep quiet about it if it's really that smart.
We don't have a clue what this thing is going to do. You can speculate all you want. You don't know. I don't know. Nobody knows what it means when this thing wakes up, if it wakes up, or if we'll even be aware of it, or if it even gives a shit about us. I don't have a clue how this is going to play out, or even if it'll play out. Like I say, this just seems like a reasonable scenario to me.
Goddamn, I love steak. That was a great space earlier. I gotta say, it was pretty good. It's kind of like a part 2 of that going on right now with actual AFD official. God, the arguments are stupid. I think it was kind of funny. I listened in there for a little bit. That's why I kind of started the space late.
Are you through?
Just to kind of see what the hell's going on. Because you have to know what's going on. I listened to it. It came to the conclusion that literally it's just... I don't even know why anyone would do this to themselves. It's like, go in there and get yourself be grilled by a person who calls the AFD ADF or something. I'm like, what? You want to insult someone, at least know their name. Like, just go, and pronounce it properly. It makes you look really, really incompetent. But, besides any of that, then there's a bunch of accusations going on with who they have dealings with, and I'm like, oh, this shit. Seriously, none of them are capable of actually having a normal conversation, because the real problem is, in politics, many of the people there don't actually have a personality. And if they do have a personality, it's more like a social engineering thing. So it's like, okay, anyone who does and discusses politics because it's fun, that's the type of person that doesn't really have much of a personality, because they can't discuss anything else. Because all they consume is gossip. Hell, the funny thing is it's so unproductive, they can't even discuss real policy because all they're focused on is the optics of the thing as opposed to the actual thing itself and what it's supposed to fix or cause. So, damn, really, it is quite fascinating to say the least. Yes, that is true. got a bunch of other things going on in my life. I need to then also do some live streaming a little bit. Probably gonna do that in 2-3 hours. Actually, I'd have to practically promised it so. But yeah, gonna do that. Might be a bit late for many people. You can catch the replay. Blythe, do we get any T16s by any chance?
Actually, yeah, I have like a whole bunch of them.
Nice. Do you have like you still have access, by the way? Just letting you know.
Oh,
I wasn't. Yeah, so if you want to do something there, yeah. Anyways, besides that, there's pretty fun stuff going around about PoE as well, so I'm going to be playing that in a little bit. For now, I'm just going to have this type of conversation, as is, customary. Everybody's here for that. We got the other guy, the guy from the previous space here. Let me let this guy up real quick. He could be an interesting person to talk to. Yeah. Got a whole bunch of other people in the audience as well. Very nice to see you all. Hello, welcome. Everybody quote post the space with join the conversation so more people can, in fact, see that the conversation is live. This helps people see that spaces are here. So I'm going to do that as well. Hang on. Yeah, big job.